You know, every once in a while, a piece of gear comes along that makes a claim so big, so audacious, you just have to stop and take notice. Well, today we're digging into exactly that, the Specialized S-Works Tarmac SL8. And we're tackling the massive question a recent review posed. Could this really be the one and only road bike a serious cyclist will ever need? All right, here's our game plan. We're gonna start with that big question. Then we'll look back at the incredible legacy the SL8 had to beat. After that, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of the engineering, see what the final verdict is out on the road, and wrap up with what this all means for cycling.
So let's just jump right in with that central question, because we really need to get our heads around the massive claim that's being made about this bike.
And this is really the heart of it all. The question isn't just, hey, is this a good bike? No, it's way bigger than that. It's asking if this machine has reached a point where it makes all those other specific bikes, the pure climbing bikes, the super aero bikes, totally unnecessary for one person.
Now, to really appreciate what the SL8 is, you have to understand the giant it was up against. And that giant was its own older brother, the Tarmac SL7. I mean, the SL7 was a complete game changer. Before that bike, you always had a choice to make. Do you get the fast aerodynamic bike that's a bit heavy, or do you get the super light climbing bike that's not so great on the flats? The SL7 just smashed those two ideas together and basically created the whole one bike to rule them all category. It became the standard everyone else was chasing.
And that right there is the key. The engineering puzzle for the SL7 was to merge these different categories. But the SL8's job was, infinitely harder. They had to find real, meaningful improvements on a bike that a lot of us, myself included, thought was pretty much perfect. I mean, where do you even find more speed from there?
So how on earth did they do it? Well, Specialized went all in on three key areas: making it slipperier through the wind, making it crazy light, and somehow also making it more comfortable. Let's break down how they pulled it off. Okay, the first thing you notice visually is this wild-looking front end. They call it the speed sniffer. By basically creating this new nose cone, they're punching a much cleaner hole in the air for you and the rest of the bike to follow. It's a pretty radical idea, and it turns out it works like a charm. And what does that charm get you in the real world? How about this? 16.6 seconds. That's how much faster the SL8 is over a 40-kilometer time trial compared to the SL7, which was already ridiculously fast. In a race, 16 seconds isn't just a small gain, it's an absolute lifetime. And then there's the weight. Get this. A painted S-Works Tarmac SL8 frame tips the scales at just 685 grams. That is mind-bogglingly light. We're talking pure featherweight climbing-specific bike territory here. But in their all-around aero race machine, it's kind of unbelievable. But here's where it all comes together, the secret sauce, really. A 33% improvement in its stiffness to weight ratio. So what does that actually mean when you're riding? It means that when you stomp on the pedals, all your power goes straight to the road. Nothing is wasted in frame flex. It's what gives you that feeling of just explosive, instant acceleration. Okay, so we've got the numbers, right? Faster, lighter, stiffer. But numbers on a page are one thing. What does all of that actually feel like when you're out there battling a crosswind or sprinting for the city limit sign? Let's pull it all together. And I think this quote from the review just absolutely nails it. The ultimate goal for any piece of high-performance equipment is to just get out of the way, to become invisible so you can focus on the ride. And that's what the SL8 does. It's not just a list of stats, it all comes together to feel intuitive and just incredibly fast. But of course, we have to be realistic here. We have to look at the whole picture. On one side, you have this masterpiece of engineering that has basically no equals when it comes to combining aero, weight, and comfort. But on the other side, and it is a big but, there's that extreme price point. All this performance definitely comes at a cost. So where does that leave us? What's the final takeaway? Who is this engineering marvel actually for? And what's it telling us about where bikes are headed? Look, when you boil it all down, it's pretty clear this bike isn't for everyone. It's for a very, very specific kind of rider. It's for the hardcore racer who needs every single advantage they can get. It's for the tech geek who just has to have the absolute best of the best. And maybe most importantly, it's for the rider where budget just isn't the main concern. For that person, yeah, the answer to our big question is probably yes. And that leaves us with one last kind of cool thought to chew on. The SL8 basically solved the puzzle of the one bike to do it all for today.
It's the top of the mountain right now. So the question is, what's the next mountain to climb? What new impossible challenge will the ultimate bike of